Hello viewers. Welcome to another episode of Quality Videos. In archaeology, context is everything. Objects allow us to reconstruct the past. Talking artifacts from a temple or an ancient private house is like emptying out a time capsule. Said by Sarah Parcak. Archaeologists gave so much information about past that humans make pattern to relate to all people. It's human nature to relate to whatever happened in past. Whenever we see such inspiring sights, our mind tends to think about lifestyle and trends of people living in that era. Humans are generally curious beings. When we think about ancient history, Egyptian civilization comes to one's mind. Thinking of Egyptian civilization, first image that come across the mind are pyramids. The formation of such mighty buildings seems to be mesmerizing to people who witness its glory. In previous episode, we told you about Mysteries of Sahara Desert. Do check it out. Friends, in today's episode, we will tell you a feature of Sahara Desert. But before moving forward, please like and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for more quality videos. Viewers, almost 4,500 years ago, wonder was made by Egyptian people. These are many structures, but largest of them is the Pyramid of Giza. According to archaeologists, they are ancient masonry structures. Approximately 80 pyramids were built within the Kingdom of Kush, now located in country of Sudan. The pyramids that are in Egypt were mostly tombs for the country's pharaohs and their consorts during the Middle Kingdom periods. Pharaoh is the vernacular term often used for the monarchs of Egypt. Pyramids of Giza served as the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu. Khufu ruled during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom. Its construction was completed in 20 years period. There are debates about the era of Khufu. His time of rule is not mentioned in history very clearly. This massive structure was made in such a shorty time was a big question mark on itself. Many archaeologists were astonished after finding the completion period. Viewers, archaeologists deciphered information by the hieroglyphs. Egyptian hieroglyphs were the formal writing system used by ancient Egypt. Hieroglyphs were a combination of images, logos, ideographs, syllabus, and some alphabetic elements. Their language was more of a symbolic language. They used to explain happenings via using sign. These signs can tell stories from past, small events, and religious ceremony. The pyramid had scripture and painting on walls that led archaeologists to think what pyramids were used for. Whenever there are no evidences against any theory, people start to make alternate tales. This leads to myths and fake reasonings. Friends, let's look upon to the features of pyramids. These pyramids are so accurate that it made scientists blow their mind. The precision on the level of the base had 0.75 accuracy. This was unimaginable for 13 acres to be so balanced without any tool. If we see the pyramids from all sides, they are all equal. The slopes are all same. There was no difference in all 4 of them. Opening was on the north side, which had arch-like symmetry there. There was one more way open afterwards, which was called Robber's Tunnel. As the name suggests, this was made by people later to rob or to explore the pyramid from inside. These pyramids were made of huge blocks. Each block used to weigh tons. Initially, the lower layer of blocks was without any mortar, but upper level of blocks was glued by the mortar. There were at least 1.3 million blocks, weighing to 6 million tons in total. The majority of the stones are not uniform in size or shape. In the primary age of Egypt, limestone was used as a major part of construction materials from different places, like limestone from Tura and granite from Aswan. Viewers, these pyramids were made near River Nile. Furthermore, there are 3 known chambers inside the pyramids. It was a common thought that pyramids have secrets inside. Pyramids had a duct that had opening according to their religious belief. It was thought that the soul had to leave the pyramids through that opening. This can be a myth told by a local folk teller. Pyramid stands at 1466 meters. Over the years, the layers of mortar eroded with time and its size changed. Ancient Egyptian used to measure in cubit. A single cubit is a distance from human's elbow to the fingertips. They were very advanced civilization. They studied body proportions. The dimension of the pyramids were 280 royal cubits that were 481.4 feet high and base length of 440 cubit, that is 756.4 feet. Guys, there were 3 pyramids made in different areas close to each other in a specific alignment. Second pyramid is called Pyramid of Khafre. He was known to be son of Khufu. Then comes the third one that is called Pyramid of Menkaure. It was supposing to be smallest in size. Menkaure was son of Khafre. There were many monuments other than pyramids. The Great Sphinx is one of the most famous sites. In total, there are 118 pyramids. Some are small, and some have eroded with times. Only Pyramid of Giza is in good condition, so much so that it has some parts of lime mortar left on some places. Scientists have taken samples of the mortar. They have also identified the components of that mortar, but cannot make it again. Viewers, according to Egyptian mythology, they believed in afterlife. According to them, their actual life starts after death. If you good throughout the life, you will live contentedly in afterlife. Therefore, generally wives of pharaohs were also buried in the same pyramids. They do preparations of afterlife in this life. They kept large amount of food, treasures, furniture, clothes, jewelry inside the tomb to be used after death. The grandeur of the physical pyramids reflected the status of the person buried. After the death, they used to be mummified and keep them in sealed wooden or stone sarcophagus. Friends, we get this information from the scriptures and hieroglyphs from the different pyramids. The sarcophagus had these texts and symbols which indicate about their ancient culture. Even though there was no evidence found inside Pyramid of Giza, people started making alternative theories. Throughout Sudan and Egypt, they find evidences of being burial tombs, but Pyramid of Giza didn't have any such evidences. When archaeologists explored pyramids of Giza from inside, they found nothing except the wood sarcophagus and few relics. They could not even find mummy of any member of Pharaoh's family. Historians say that all the things were robbed later. Viewers, people put forward their alternative theories. Ben Carson, a Republican presidential candidate, believed that these pyramids were made by Prophet Joseph to store grain. He was referring to the Old Testament story of Prophet Joseph predicting famine for years. People who believed that thought pyramids were granary for crops. So, friends, now comes the most important question: that how were these massive structures made? How can people 3,500 years ago make such huge structures? There was no wheel at that time. Every stone was cut in such precision as if they used modern equipment. Only copper instruments were used. Many scientists gave their theories. Another myth was busted. Herodotus, a Greek historian, started this theory that pyramids were made by the workers who were slaves. They did not have sufficient food. They worked in misery, but in actual it was quite opposite. Some scientists says that the craftsmen that made these pyramids were highly skillful. They used to have good standard of living. They had adequate amount of food. They were also helped by other community people. When other people had time, they used to come by the site as helping hands. It was a good prospering community. They used to respect their pharaoh. They considered him as their god. Almost 20 to 30,000 workers worked to make pyramid. They used to work 10 to 12 hours a day. The calculators did not make logic. If this was made in 20 years, then they have to work every min of the day, only then they will be able to complete this much work. That is why it is still considered to be miracle or superstitious. If we talk about material that is used, almost 5.5 ton of limestone and 8,000 tons of granite is used. They used to cut the stones with copper tools and wooden wedges. They used to smooth surfaces with pressured water. Guys, now a question rises: that how are these big loads move? They used to make rafts of wood and leather to move stone via water. They used sledges over wet sand to stack them. This study was conducted after the painting was found in the tomb of Jehuthihotep 1900 BC. In this painting, we can clearly see people moving an enormous statue with ropes, and a person was pouring water on the sand before moving forward. This lessened the friction between sledge and sand. It made movement easy. Viewers, till now we see the movement of heavy load became easier. Now comes the query about lifting weight. They did not have any pulley to pull the weight, so they made different ramp system. They made ramps till pyramid level and used ropes around wooden engraved pillars. They made something similar to pulley. They took heavier stones to the top. When level was completed, they used to rebuild the ramp, increasing its slopes. This much extensive work in just 20 years is questionable again. This was the closet theory given by the scientist. They also found a wooden ramp near the site. Another theory says that in early millennium people used shadow as an irrigation tool. It used to lift weight of water from a source onto the land. It comprises of a long counterbalanced pole on a pivot with a weight attached to its end. They used this technique to lift weights and move it. Both theories are fine, but the amount of time taken to make the pyramid is questionable. Viewers, another question that arises is that all three pyramids had such perfect orientation that they face east, west, north and south perfectly. How is that possible in that era without a compass? Some related theory. According to Robert Bevel, Orient correlating theory says that Egyptians were good astronomers. They believed on stars. They study the constellation and work according to that. He said that Egyptians even plant their crop according to astronomy. This theory was nullified by the astronomers after observing the alignment with Orion constellation. It was later discovered to be slightly differently aligned. Viewers, other explanation given were shadows. On the day when night and day times becomes equal, they would have marked the shadows and found about the perfect directions. This was one more theory given by the scientist. So, viewers, many people consider these things scientific miracles. Unusual phenomena told by past always blows our mind. Some people say that these pyramids are cursed. Due to spells and magic, one can never find the secrets behind them. According to historians, Egyptians were also very famous for their magic and mythological experience. One can never find answers to such myths. They are tales of past. We can only see the glory of the people that once were alive, walking on the same land as ours. Viewers, please like and subscribe our channel for more interesting episodes of quality videos. Thanks for watching.